what's going on. There's parts and tools everywhere. Yep, we're in the shop. We're working on the balers. This one specifically is getting knotters checked over and freshened up on it. That one over there, waiting on some sprockets. Got to go through the knotters yet. Down on the other side, the stuffer trip has been taken off. It's down on the table over there. We had to change the little finger in it for the trip, so getting that all taken care of. But yeah, the balers, I mean, they're in pretty good shape, really. Just, you know, this is a pretty delicate area. You want to make sure that you get everything adjusted right and replaced. And that's love-hate relationship with these things. Love them when they're working, hate them when they're not. And there's been many a curse word said on the knotter platform of a baler by any baler guy. But a little bit of patience, you know, you can get them working. Still though, it's frustrating when they're not. But I mean, it's you know, you're trying to get a machine or a mechanized thing to tie a knot. I mean, sometimes I can't even tie my shoes in the morning. But which I had this thought yesterday. What if they made, like, you know, when you were a kid, you couldn't tie your shoes, so your mom and dad got you Velcro, you know, and make it easier. Why don't we wrap bales in Velcro? That'd be pretty cool. You just have like 6 rolls of Velcro up here that you got to change out every once in a while. You know, get the heavy duty stuff, you know, do it right. But I don't think that would work. So yeah, I started taking these apart yesterday, just inspecting some of the parts. And I'm going to list off names of parts that don't make any sense if you've never been around knotters, like twine finger, bill hook, knife arm, bill hook cam. I mean, it's just, these things are strange. And me, I mean, I have a general idea of, well, I mean, I know how they work, but I kind of have to like relearn or reteach myself every time. So yeah, like over here I got all the cams for the bill hooks off. Down there I took all the knife arms off. I'm just inspecting them. I changed all the bearings on the twine fingers because they're kind of locked up. Yeah, just general stuff. I mean, it doesn't need anything major, you know, like, I don't know, I would consider like changing all the gears, you know, like a considerable overhaul, but the gears on this thing look all right. This baler's got like, I don't know, 40,000 bales on it, something like that. That one over there has like 60, and about 58 we overhauled all the gears out in the field. Actually, this one only has 12,000 bales on it because the counter got reset last year somehow, so it's only got 1 season on it. I wish that's the way it worked. You just hit the reset button, new baler, but it's not the way it works. So anyway, yeah, I gotta go get some parts, and I'll come back to the shop and show you guys what I'm doing and give my best shot at explaining how these things worked. But these things are like magic. It involves a little bit of fairy dust and a little bit of luck, but they do a good job. So yeah, gonna go get some parts and we'll come back to you when we get back. All right, we got our parts. So now I'm going through the knife arms and checking these rollers. So the first one I did, it was locked up, had a flat spot in it. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but that little flat spot's from it riding in the cam on the knotter and being locked up and just rubbing. So I'm gonna go through and switch all these out. Kind of a monotonous job, but gotta do it. Okay, we got all the twine fingers in, but one thing I wanted to show. So these plates here are your twine finger adjusting plates, and these are the wide ones that they make. So here's your standard one, and you can see how much wider these are. So these help just kind of keep trash from coming up when the needles come up. Kind of just keeps the twine where it's supposed to be. You know, if the needles bring up any garbage, this is kind of supposed to block it. So they're, I don't know what they call them in the parts book, but they're just a heavy duty or made for trash or like corn stalk type of stuff. So yeah, that's the standard one. This is a regular one. They all have this little tab though. This is the stop for the twine finger. So the twine finger, you know, when the knotter trips and runs, you have your let's see, this one is tucker arm cam, and this is a twine finger cam. So these things spin, and see how this thing's kind of odd shaped, and then there's an arm down here. There's one on the other side for the twine finger. So that thing runs, the arm on the back's on a spring, so when this thing runs, a bearing runs along this, and these twine fingers actually kind of move this way and that way. And this stop right here is to keep them from going over center. So the twine finger will basically move, what, 90 degrees this way and then back. Sometimes this stop will break, so you'll see a little crack right here, or it'll completely break and allow this thing to go, you know, past 90. Well, then it gets bound up, and when a twine finger gets bound up or gets stuck on something, you're going to get a mistie on everything. So if you have 6 misties, you know, or mistie in each knotter, it's more than likely probably a problem with your twine finger, with one of them getting bound up or stuck. So that's another reason why I changed these bearings. That way, you know, they move back and forth smooth. Some of them felt a little rough, and I thought, well, we'll just change all of them. Some of the older balers used to use a bushing right there on the pivot rather than a bearing. The bearing ones seem to last a lot longer. I mean, this baler's has, what, 4 seasons on it, I think. And I don't know how many bales. I think I said 40,000 earlier, and it's the first time I've changed them. But yeah, same thing why I changed the roll pins underneath here, you saw a little bit ago, because they will break, and then these rods will come out, and then, you know, when the thing goes to tie and the cam goes around, these rods move around and get all jacked up. And sometimes it'll get so bad they'll get bound up, and they could catch this knife arm right here, and this knife arm's just a piece of cast, so it breaks fairly easy. And this is like, I don't know what they are. They were $300 last year, I think, so there's no telling what they are now. So yeah, the twine fingers are in. We'll have to check adjustment clearance when the needle comes up. So you know, this, when the needle comes up, this thing goes back, and then the needle comes up with the twine, then it, you know, it moves a little bit to pull the twine into the path of the knotter or the bill hook to tie. So you want to check your clearance, you know, the tip of the needle and the tip of the twine finger, which we'll probably do that tomorrow. But yeah, these are, they're probably okay. When they're in the home position, you want them kind of 90 degrees across, which is pretty much where they're at. But yeah, the first thing you do, you check your clearance. So you can change your clearance by adjusting these slides, these plates. So these fingers will slide forward and back. So you get your clearance set where you want it. And then on the end of these rods, there's they're threaded on the end. So you take the pin out, and you know, lengthen the rod or shorten the rod to get your, you know, 90 degree home position. So these are probably okay, but we're going to double check them anyway. But I'm going to put the knife arms back on. I got the rollers all changed. The knife arms seem okay, so I'm just going to stick them back on. On the knife arm, you know, you check the roller, it's free, and then your knife, check your knife, it's sharp, and then this little notch here is kind of your wiper. So the knife arm goes right in here. So I'll put one on and show you. They're a little tricky. All right, that's on. The nut and a washer. Okay. So your knife arm does two things. It cuts the twine after it's been tied, and it also wipes the knot off of the bill hook, which is this part right here, this part I have my finger on. So it cuts, but it hits this also, and you you can feel it. Like I can feel it as it hits, and that's what you want. And if it's not touching or not touching enough, it won't wipe the knot off of the bill hook, and then you're gonna have trouble. So basically you just you get a feel for it, and if it's not wiping enough, it's pretty simple. Just get a hammer and hit on this. Don't hit it too hard, it's cast. But yeah, that's just what you want to check. So that one feels pretty good. So that knife arm's back on, and I'm gonna put the rest of them back on. Oh, I marked them so I wouldn't get them mixed up, but I put number 2 on number 1, so I'm gonna switch it. I don't think it'll really matter, but it'll make me feel better. I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little picky about that kind of stuff, especially with these finicky things. Alright, yeah, we're gonna cut that here for today, but this whole video I think I'm gonna try to just make it about, us going over the knotters and what we do. So yeah, just what we did today, we changed the bearings on the twine fingers, changed the rollers on the knife arms, put the twine fingers back in, put the knife arms back in. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully, what are we gonna do? We need to check rollers down there on the tucker arms, check the rollers on top on the slacker arms. We'll run the needles up, make sure that they're adjusted and doing what they're supposed to do. And needles, it's just as long as they're over to the side like they're supposed to be, and they're not hitting anything, they're penetrating enough, and they're the rollers are okay. So that's about it, because everything, all the parts and stuff on the knotters, they look okay. I think it's fine. So yeah, we'll run the needles up, check them, check all the rollers, and then we'll try to make a knot, see what happens. So yeah, like I said, this whole video is just going to be bits and pieces of what we're doing to the balers and in the shop, but we'll try to focus on the knotters, because I know these things are kind of mesmerizing to people. They still are to me. I mean, I've been around them a long time, but something that'll tie a knot, it's just pretty cool. So yeah, anyway, all right, see you in the morning. All right, we're back the next day. So I think what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna run the needles up and get them to come up through here and check the rollers, and then in tripping the knotter and running them up, the cam will get in the right spot to get these up, so I can check them a little bit easier and change them if I have to. So we're gonna do that, but I'm gonna need to get some help. I was waiting for you, but I wanted to let you finish what you were doing. Alright, hold on. I'm going to trip it here. Okay, hold on. Did that thing trip? there we go. All right, go ahead and spin the flywheel. I think it'd be counterclockwise from the front, right? Oh, no, I'm wrong. Other way. Sorry, clockwise. I was thinking backwards. It might take a second. This thing's gonna come around and catch. Okay, hold on a minute, slow down. All right, keep going. Keep going. Okay, hold it right there. Put the brake on. All right. You can come up here. I'll show you something. Got to educate with the little bit of knowledge that I have. Come on. Okay. So you remember these were turned. These were like 90 degrees this way. Okay. So now what's happening? The needles are up. The tucker arms are up. So that's what I wanted to get these up here so we could check them. As long as they free spin, they're probably okay. So yeah, I wanted to check those. We can keep spinning it though. I want to. We'll spin it to the point to where we need to check clearance. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm doing there. So. All right, well, back down there spinning. Come on, Popeye, get your arms going. Something like that. Something like that. All right, you ready? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, look at that. There's a broken tab right there. So we got to change that plate. Oh, okay, come back up here. So we got clearance. Good, good. I found a problem. Oh. Okay. See how we cleared just fine? They're all past the needle. Okay, so that's good. And actually, if I remember right, the book clearance is real tight, and you actually want them a little bit more of a gap than what the book says, because the book has them too tight. But see this stop right here? Okay, that's to keep this from breaking past this point. That tab broke off, so we got to change that plate, which is not a big deal. That's easy. So, oh, that's easy. Yeah, but that kind of crap right there is what happens and causes you a lot of heartache. Because this thing will kick over and get bound up, and then none of them work. And then at some point you may catch this arm right here and it'll break. So I got to change that plate. But the clearance looks good. The rollers look good. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Okay. So do you have any of those plates here? I carry them in my pickup. I got them in my. And then these are two different styles. This is the like style they come with. That ones we have on there are a little wider. They're more for more debris and stuff. Okay. I don't know if they work better or not, but make you feel better. But yeah, that I didn't see that earlier. That one's broke, so I'll change that real quick. But I don't need you anymore. Okay. Bye, camera. Bye, George. Thanks for the help. All right, so I'm going to change the rollers that need to be changed. Oh, hold on. I swear that phone never stops sometimes, but okay. Back to this. Gonna change some of the rollers. The ones on the needles look okay. There's a couple on the tucker arms that are a little rough, and the tucker arms need to be changed. So, no, I'm not gonna really film and talk you through that because it's kind of boring, and I feel like this videos probably are gonna be kind of boring. It may be interesting to some people because knotters are kind of cool, but yeah, I'm not gonna film me changing those. So if I do set the camera down, it's gonna be sped up. So, all right, I'm gonna see if I can get these things off. Well, there's an Allen bit right there that I dropped. It didn't make it to the floor, so I gotta go inside the chamber of the baler, which is no big deal, but then I realized the chute in the back's closed, so I gotta crawl up and around there so you guys get to see how not flexible I am. Oh yeah. Oh, this is ridiculous. I don't think I can get in here. There we go. Pivot. Okay. Got it. What happened to Luke? Oh, he got stuck inside the baler chamber. Nobody found him for a week. He died. That'd be a way to go. Got it. Whoops.